Welcome to this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. I'm your host, Patricia. Our mission is to bring you experts and relevant topics that will help you understand the art, science, and timing of real estate, because after all, your home is your biggest asset. Joining me today is Drew Rice, photographer and owner of Red Pants Studio. Drew specializes in partnering with professionals to create stunning images that capture the form and function of architectural and interior design. The quality of photography can mean the difference between a potential buyer visiting or passing on a property. Drew takes great pride in finding the best light and angles to capture his subject matter and in making sure that he's showing the best of every room. Drew is known for his positive attitude and technical expertise. He has worked to create a process of shooting that offers high-quality photography quickly and keeping that at an affordable price point. Thanks for coming by today, Drew.
Thank you.
So, a professional photographer. You are the lifeblood of my business. When we put our homes online, you are the difference between whether somebody is going to want to come and see the house or they're just going to pass it by. We never do anything without a professional photographer. Now, you have some tricks to the trade that make us look as good as we do, and maybe you could share that so that the sellers that are watching could get an idea of what they need to do to prepare for the day of the shoot.
You know, the quickest answer would be to actually work with stagers who are trained in looking into those details. But if we don't have that luxury of working with a stager, being mindful of what is in the room, too many personal items around the room tell a potential buyer that this is someone's house. We want to give the idea that it is your house that you're looking at.
We want them to project.
Yes, absolutely. The other is, as a photographer, I look at the house in angles, and having a clear line of sight from the camera to the windows is very important. If there's a lot of lamps in the middle of the room, or if the furniture is kind of piled in the center of the room, it takes away from the view out of the window from the camera. So it's very important for me to take a look at those angles. And be mindful of what is important in that room, what is the feature, and what is the benefit of this room.
Yeah, you concentrate on the feature, and a feature would be like a fireplace or the windows, as you said. So windows being washed is very important.
Very important.
All the lights being on is very helpful.
And having lights in those sockets.
Exactly. No burnt out bulbs.
No burnt out bulbs, absolutely.
Makes a little extra work for you to try to fill in
Yes,
that little bit. Now, the other thing, as far as color is important, and it's helpful for you.
Absolutely. The more color that there is in a room, the more our eyes tend to find stuff inside the room. Whether it's a family room, for example, and having a white wall with one brown couch, or a brown couch and a brown chair, it kind of leads to a monotone color. We want that color splash. So by putting a red blanket on top of the brown couch, or a centerpiece of flowers in the middle of a room on top of a coffee table, adds that color splash that draws our eyes into the photo, taking us there. It really puts a buyer in the middle of that room looking at that flower. So that color splash becomes very important to the viewer, but even more for the camera, because we can highlight that color.
One of the things that I really like about what you do is that you don't use the fisheye. Now, the fisheye, everybody knows what I'm talking about. When the buyer gets to the house and they may, wow, it's half the size I thought it was going to be. And there's a reason that people use it. It tried to get in as much as they can. But the perception from the buyer is that the house is bigger than it is.
Yes.
Now, you try to convey the size of the rooms in a different way.
Absolutely. In photography, there are many different sizes of lenses that we can use to photograph a home. Going to that ultra-wide angle lens does give that barrel distortion or that fisheye look, creating a much larger environment from the photograph than it is in person. By using maybe not quite so wide of an angle or a narrower lens, we begin to get a true perspective of the room. So shooting that room specifically with the mindset that we want to project the room as it is. Yes, we want secondary bedrooms to look much larger than they really are. We want bathrooms to appear big enough to fit the 3 children or the 2 children that are going to be using it. But the reality is when buyers get to the house, if we have misrepresented the home, it can often turn them away to go back out and look at new homes. And we want to keep them there. So by choosing to shoot at maybe not so the wide angle lens does really become a benefit.
Well, you are very good at what you do. You make me look good at what I do and many other real estate professionals that you do, and I want to thank you. It's important for what the sellers know. They need to keep it simple. They need to keep it clean, a little splash of color, and keep the personal items and all the lights with bulbs that work.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much, Drew.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks for watching this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. Remember, whether you are buying, selling, or sitting on the sidelines, keep watching for important information on topics that are impacting your biggest asset, your home. To learn more about this and other shows, please visit us at northwestrealestateforum.com or check us out on Facebook. While you're there, be sure to order your free copy of Neighbor Law, Fences, Trees, Boundaries, and Noise by Cora Jordan. You will be surprised at what you learn. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. See you next time.